I am Kaylen, your cryo practitioner, that will be taking you through your treatments today.
Wow.
This is our cryo chamber. So this is the chamber that you'll be in. You'll be stepping into this changing room, into the chamber. For 3 minutes, your treatment will be with what to expect in a sense of what to wear. So when you're going into the cryo chamber for me, you're going to get down to where it will be underwear, socks, keep your socks on. You wear a pair of our lovely Crocs. Got the Crocs before your session. We always have Crocs and gloves. The reason being to help protect the vital parts of where the cold goes to. Our hands and our toe tips as where the cold goes a lot quicker. So by having the Crocs, having a pair of gloves, we keep them hands and feet warm. With it, we have our changing room here for you. So we have a changing room for you to get changed. Privacy has always remained throughout all of our sessions. You'll wear into one of our gowns as well. Once you get down to underwear for us, you'll be stepping in with your gown. So once you are changed, you'll come through. You'll enter our chamber, into the chamber here for me. You'll step up onto the steps. So you'll be up on the steps here for me. Your arms will either be placed on your shoulders or under the armpits. Anyone that's more comfortable. It's all for protecting the organs around the area around there where the cold travels a lot faster to around our area of the torso, a lot more than any other body part. Within that 3 minutes of you being here within your session, I'm going to ask you to turn every 30 seconds, giving me a quarterly turn. So you'll be doing this for me in the whole 3 minutes you're in the chamber for me. Every 30 seconds, right until we bring you right back round to the front for you. So cryotherapy is a cold therapy. It's a cold therapy that is where it's made to send your body into the thermal shock. It's where basically it's chaos happening for 3 minutes. Your body goes into this invigoration of where it's having to work hard, regenerating new blood cells, improving the circulation, giving you that all-round wellness to your body. If that means from down to your aches and pains, down to your day-to-day wellness, down to people that just want to feel good. We release something where when you go into the cold chamber, it releases your endorphins, it stimulates your dopamines by the millions, your adrenaline is rushing around your body. It's almost sending your body into this trick switch of where, hang on a minute, I'm having to fight for these 3 minutes to make sure I come out. And I don't mean physically where you're going to fall, I mean to a point of where your body is regenerating these new blood cells by the mass, by the millions. And when you're stepping out, you've got this euphoria feel, this rush of tingling sensation of where your body's been regenerated, reinvigorated. It's almost like having a reboot to the system. And then you're left with all these endorphins, these endopamines, all the great feel to why cold therapy is great. Everybody's different. So we say to people, if you're coming here with a certain goal, whether that be an injury management or if that's something you're trying to get on top of something to help us improve, we always take every client as a different person because everybody's different when treated with cryotherapy. So for an example, someone comes here with post-operation, had a broken arm or an ankle, swollen ankle, sprained ankle, we would always say do a due course of treatments. One treatment will definitely help. You will feel that difference in a sense of the pain management, but I wouldn't say to you one session will be your answer to recovery. We would say to you over a period of sessions where we're able to get under control of that inflammation, the swelling, we're able to process that recovery a lot quicker. Whereas if someone that was coming in, they want the all-round wellness, they want to feel good factor, they want that kick and drive to their day, I would say to you 1 to 2 times a month is more than enough for your day-to-day person. Even down to your average gym goers. That is more than enough for people. So here are our compressions. These are work fantastically with the cold therapy. The cold therapy does all the aiding in the swelling, the inflammation, drawing out any fluid around the areas to where when you come into these compressions, there's no uncomfortability in a sense of when these go on. These are called our Normatec socks. And what these do is they act as basically where the lymphatic drainage, they want to take away and bring back the good. So by doing these, the whole course of these, so you would put on a pair of our leg compressions. I'll explain these ones for you. So with the leg compressions, when you put these on, they're almost like a leg sock. Once you go into these, they're like having you when you go to the doctors, you have your blood pressure taken, it goes tighter, it squeezes that area. So this is what our Normatecs do, but they do them in a more optimized way. So they'll squeeze from the sole of your feet. They'll squeeze from the sole of your feet, going into your calves, up into your quads and your hamstrings with a whole optimized squeeze. So when they're squeezing, they're pushing any lactic acid, any bad cellulars, any kind of bad circulation is pushing that right back into the bloodstream, up into our torso. So like grabbing a roll of toothpaste from the bottom, rolling it all the way up to the top, poof. right back into the bloodstream. And this is how they help with aiding in the circulation of our body. These are what they're fantastic for. A lot of our superstars, the footballers, the boxers, the athletes, they all live and breathe for these, especially with trying to get themselves back out onto that run again, back out doing that sport again. Helping with them, these are the ones for that. So this is the local cryotherapy. And what this is this is a therapy that's very similar to the cold chamber, but with this one, it's a more intricate and more in-depth. It targets an area of where that injury is. So if there's a pain, say if it's your shoulder's where you're suffering with that pain. Normally inflammation doesn't always just travel to that part of that area of where that is. Inflammation could be spread around that shoulder, overcompensating or overuse of that muscle. So by having the local cryotherapy with this, it's not a laser treatment. This just pinpoints to where we extract the nitrogen. This will target that area for you. And by doing that, it stimulates of a more intense kind of course of cryotherapy where it gets into that area. We work these from treatments take from up to 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of the muscle. If it's a large area, we'd say up to 10 minutes. Smaller areas, between 3 to 5 minutes is more than enough for these treatments. But this is fantastic for helping targeting your ankle injuries, your sprained ankles, your twisted knees, your meniscus, anything down to ligaments, cartilage. These target fantastically for helping with this. So I would definitely notice yourself, the more and the longer periods that you do cryotherapy, you tend to find that even down to your own performance, your own ability, your sleeping pattern, your metabolism speeds up a lot more. Down to where you're finding yourself that aches and pains become a lot less minimal. You're recovering a lot quicker. You're able to get back and do the things you like to do, the things you love to do, that a lot quicker, and even do them to where you can take them up to a more higher level of performance. So all with cryotherapy, I reassure you, doing it regularly and doing it more often, you become and notice them benefits a whole lot better to your lifestyle.
You've got your Crocs on, your socks on, your gloves on.
Yes.
You've got no jewellery on.
No.
That means you are ready. Jude, what you're going to experience, I'd say for the first 10 to 15 seconds, you're going to feel the nitrogen circling your torso. Nitrogen is naturally heavier than oxygen. It always finds the lowest point of gravity. So we're going to start from the ground up. So you're going to feel it coming into your shins, your calves, the front of your knees, the back of your knees, creeping up into your quads. It will then rise up towards your torso. At the moment, as a human, our natural shiver position is either like this or like this. That's why we've got you stood like that, because you're gathering heat from your vital organs. Towards the end of the session, we will be exposing your vital organs, so we will ask you to drop your arms, and not until I tell you to, though. Jude, I need your first quarter turn for me now, please. It's fantastic. Your legs tend to find it a little bit colder anywhere else in the body. The reason being, your legs is half of your body. You walked in the shop, you're going to walk out the shop. So our legs kind of feel it, sharp and tingly sensation.
They're shaking.
Yeah, they will be shaking, that's absolutely fine. Your body's gone into a thermal shock now. So what that means, your head's sending signals to your body going, crikey, I'm freezing. So what your body's doing is going into survival mode. It's producing millions and millions and millions of new blood cells. By producing millions and millions of new blood cells, Jude, that rejuvenates your body, draws inflammation and swelling out of your body. You've come out of a thermal shock now. That's very quick. Well done. I need another quarter turn to me now, Jude. You're nearly coming to your halfway mark. You're doing absolutely fantastic. I ask every new customer this, without saying you're cold or freezing, how do you feel?
Alive.
Alive?
Yeah.
That's always a good thing, that you're alive. That's always a plus.
As in like, you know, kind of singing.
Yeah, I need you to go right round to the screen now, Jude. So all the way around, you're doing absolutely superb. Well done. Some people find the final minute a bit colder.
Yeah.
I think that's just because they noticed the final minute and they're looking at the screen.
No, it just feels colder.
Right, okay. Turn and face me. What happens, Jude, when you step out of the chamber from sub-zero temperatures to room temperatures? That's when your endorphins surge through your body. That's where you'll feel uplifted when your adrenaline gets released. You're doing absolutely fantastic. We're under 50 seconds now. Jude, like I spoke to you about earlier, when we get to 10 seconds, I'll instruct you to drop your arms. When you do, you're going to keep your hands pumping like that for me. By doing so, we're going to expose the vital organs to the cold. Initially, the cold's going to come in a bit like, but your body adapts to it within 2 seconds. Before you know you're freezing, I'm getting you out. Okay? Doing fantastic. We're under 30 seconds now, Jude. Smashing it. You're doing really well. You've been peaking between 120 and 135 the whole session, which is absolutely bang on to put the body through its thermal shock. You're doing superb. Coming up to your 15-second mark, I'll soon be instructing you to drop your hands. You're smiling, that's a good sign. Drop your hands on me, Jude. Feel that coming a bit more to the torso?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone does that face. You're doing superb, absolutely amazing. Chin up for me, we don't mess around when it's time to get out.
Okay.
I'm just gonna slip this off your head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lower you down on the ramp.
Yeah.
I'm then gonna open the door 6 inches just to let some nitrogen out, hand you your gown and towel. This is what we do. We recommend you going on the bike. This is just to bring you back to room temperature, just to warm you up a bit quicker.
I feel, well, cold, but only in specific places. So like my elbows, my knees. Generally I don't feel cold, but I can just feel the cold coming through here. But yeah, just really buzzy and kind of like, I don't really know the word apart from zingy. It's probably, what you're imagining is probably worse than it actually is. Yes, it's really cold, it's freezing, but having John talking all the way through it really helped because I could focus on that. And yeah, just give it a go.
So I'm just going to start this now for the cryofacial. I'm just going to pre-cool. So we always start the cryo local once it's at that cold temperature. I don't want to be doing 30 seconds of having to build it up and pick it up so it gets to us. So we want it nice and cold, ready for when it goes.
Okay.
So this is exactly like how John touched on with the whole body cryotherapy. It sends the body into this shock. So with this local cryofacial going onto your face, it's going to stimulate your collagen ducts to start promoting circulation and better blood circulation to the areas of our face where it's being stimulated.
Okay, sounds good.
You will definitely, this one here is a big common, very much with the ladies, with the women as well, especially with the menopausal stage, going through the menopause, struggling with the collagen. Fantastic for helping with that. And it's a non-invasive treatment as well. There's nothing enhancing or going into your skin or in your body. It's just cold nitrogen liquid that is just going around your face for you.
No chemicals.
No chemicals at all. And these are brilliant for helping even with down to people that suffer with like cluster headaches, people that suffer with tension around the face.
Really?
Fantastic for helping release that, because what the cold does is it aids in helping with inflammation, swelling, tension, anything around anywhere where the body is, the cold can treat that.
This is an issue that we all care a lot about. It is very difficult to get people, especially men, to talk about what's going on. As a male, do you have those insights, or what helps your clients open up a bit more?
So massively, I feel like we said, touching on being approachable people, being able for people to feel comfortable and warm. And from there, becoming mine and John's infectious ways of whether that's popping a little joke to yourself or having that laugh with you. When you step into here, it's a thing of like, right, forget everything that's going on outside and in the world. You know, how are you? How are you as a person? And more so with that, if it means that when we're doing these treatments, it's always that conversation of, it's all about you. What are you doing today? Where are we going from here today? You know, is your plan, is it to go for that walk, or is it to go for where you're at home, you go home? What is it that helps in a sense of with yourself, more than just of what we're doing for you? It's how are you helping yourself as well?
This is incredible, and you contain a lot of people's anxieties. You know, they come in and they, in a way, are able to unload. But that also means you have to look after your own mental health and well-being.
Massively.
So can you tell me a little bit about how the hub has helped you as well?
So the hub is massive. When John introduced me to the cryotherapy, it was more than just a side of physical where I was going through an injury stage. It had helped suppress the stress and depression that come with the fact that I couldn't do the sports that I enjoy. I couldn't play the football that I loved. And coming from a mental side of the mental health side of things, I've lost a brother in the past of the age of 25 due to the mental health issues. So for me, it's a big thing for me. When I done the cryotherapy, it helped me massive in my journey of suppressing that depression, that anxiety, that feel of feeling like I couldn't be around anyone, I couldn't be myself. And by having the cryotherapy and being a person that was able to be approachable, I was able to discuss these things a lot easier and a lot more open around people. Still to this day now, that it's a very hot topic on my mind, that I'm very, very open in a sense of this situation, which I hope to aim where most men, especially with the stigma of men being that, you know, we can't talk, we can't cry, we can't shed our feelings to amongst each other, whether that be a stranger in the street, whether that be your wife, whether that be your best friend, you know, breaking that stigma and having the cryotherapy at that time when I was going through that space, that mental space of where I was struggling. Having the cryotherapy was one of the biggest game changers, and hence the why myself and John are so passionate about this business, because it's more than just what we provide.
Yes, and I think also you're doing something very important for a lot of people, because one of the key issues that we see, and this is the same with mental and emotional pain and chronic pain, which you may not see physically, is you get to a point where you're feeling it, it's really affecting you, it may be affecting you bodily, you might be hunched over more, which is causing more pain, but because other people don't see it,
they don't understand it.
Or understand it.
Fantastic. So if I say to you, definitely that is something, is a hot topic that we deal with a lot of ladies that and gentlemen that suffer with these chronic illnesses in silence, you know. To the face and to the paint of a picture, they look happy, they look good. But behind that, and when you peel it back, there is somebody in there that is suffering, somebody that, you know, they get to a point in life where they almost just get on with it and accept it. You know, they don't speak amongst this because you can't see it, you can't feel it. It's almost like when they say this, it's like, oh, are you exaggerating that? Or is it really that kind of pain? But we see that from a lot of people, and I see that from a family perspective of people that suffer with chronic pains and chronic illnesses, and you would look at them and think, you know what, you look lovely, you know, but inside there is somebody that is suffering in silence with this kind of chronic illness to themselves.
And so what you do is just even more important because of that. What would be your words of advice to somebody who is suffering in that way, whether it be mental, whether it's chronic, whether it's emotional pain that they have, and they don't feel able to express it in a formal setting or something like that? What might you say to them?
I would say to definitely from people from my own personal experience of not from being aligned with chronic pain. I'm not a sufferer of that, but I can relate to the people we deal with and the people that I have spoken to and seen in my life that suffer with that side of things. But I always say to people, when going through something or suffering with something and you find it hard to either conversate or communicate with somebody, sometimes even just writing these things down yourself, you know, finding that time, that space to yourself, pen and paper, what is on your mind? What is it, the things that are really getting underneath you, you know? Are these things that you can put onto paper and maybe you could express it a lot better amongst people around you? I know that communication is a very hard thing and a big stigma to a lot of people. You know, you feel like you're almost a burden to somebody. You put this onto somebody else. When really and truly, there are people out there that I would love to help and love to actually hear that sign of things of where, if they could help, or even just to listen to. I did find with myself, with learning it, I had to crack myself out of that shell and be very spoken about it, be very communicative about it to the right people, to the people you feel that, you know, the people that deeply care for you. Be very vocal with it, because if somebody knows that you're suffering in silence or doesn't know, nobody knows how to treat or how to take that amongst with yourself.